If you're struggling correcting your underwater footage, then today's video might help you out a little bit, as I will be showing you how to correct a shot like this with a subject in the foreground and a blue background and turn it into something like this with just a few clicks and quite a simple workflow in Final Cut Pro, right after the intro. Hey there, you underwater image makers, and welcome back to the channel. As always, great to have you here with me. As you can see, today at a slightly different angle here in my studio. We are not talking theory today, but we're actually going to be looking into practicing our color correction in Final Cut Pro. Just recently, a friend of mine who is the marketing manager for a bunch of dive resorts in Egypt, the Red Sea diving safari dive resorts, Sarah sent a video over to me that they've recorded a few days earlier, asking me whether I could take a look to see if I can get anything better out of it. And it was the video that we're going to be looking at today. It's this video of the nudie break, and they weren't really happy with it because, as you can see, it's basically just a not very colorful nudie break on a blue background. The cool thing is that it's free swimming, so that's why they really wanted to use that video on their social media channels and for marketing their destination, but they didn't want to use it like that. They wanted to make it look better, so they asked me what I can do with it and whether I can get more out of it. And I took on that challenge and played around a little bit with it, and I got it to this here quite easily and quickly. And today I'm going to show you how I did this using Final Cut Pro's newest, latest sort of auto mask feature that they've added to the latest firmware upgrade that they've given us just recently. So let's just jump right into the computer and have a look at that, and I'll walk you through all the different steps, which are not very many, and we'll see if we can get to that same result again. Also, I will actually put a link down in the video description below with the original files that I'm working on with here. So if you want, you can download those files first and then go along with what I'm doing here in Final Cut Pro and see if you can get to the same result, if you can follow along if you want so. Okay, let's jump into Final Cut Pro. So here in Final Cut Pro, we have different clips. Sarah sent me two different clips. They were rather long clips, so I just trimmed them down at the very beginning just to make sure that they are not too long, and I only just wanted the part that, you know, the nudie break is actually in focus, mostly in focus, and is in the frame and that sort of stuff. So I trimmed that down a little bit to two clips. This one is obviously the original one. This one is already corrected, and now we're going to be trying to do the same thing on the first clip here. So the first thing that we're going to do is open up our inspector here on the upper right side, and we're going to be working in the color area. I'm not going to be doing any stabilize or anything like that. I'm really just going to be doing the color correction here. So opening up our color tab, and I like to actually work with the color wheels. I find them, I really like working with these wheels. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to pick the color wheels here so that we get that selection, and then we want to try to isolate the foreground, in our case the nudie break. We want to isolate that from the background so that we can then separately work and color correct the foreground and the background. Because when you have images like this where everything is kind of bluish, you have that blue background which is kind of boring, and then you have that nudie break that is sitting on that background but it doesn't have a lot of color because I don't think they were using any lights on this shot. It is difficult if you try to color correct the whole image because it's just not really going to look nice. you really have to separate those. And earlier on it was kind of difficult to do so because you would have to mask out the object manually earlier on, and then when Final Cut came a little while ago and gave us the magnetic mask, it made it easier because then you could use the magnetic mask to actually have the mask follow and track the object throughout the shot, and then we had a better mask that way. But now we actually have something that is even better. We can do a auto mask. This here, the little sort of little figure here with, I don't know if it's a plus or something by the side of the head. This is the auto mask, brand new feature. And if we open it up, it's a star, it's not an arrow, it's a star right next to the head. If we click that, now Final Cut is analyzing the frame that our playhead is on right down here, and it tells us it can spot a sky, it has a foreground and a background that it was able to identify, and now we can select the fore or background, or sky in our case. That doesn't make much sense. So I want to have the foreground here selected because I want to work on the nudibranch in the first place. So we'll select that foreground and we add that mask to it. And you can see it's doing actually a really good job masking out that nudibranch. So we add that mask on it, and now we can actually start doing our color corrections on the nudibranch, and we won't be affecting the background at all because we've put that mask directly onto the color wheel color correction section here. And we can check that by opening up the exposure tool, by pressing Command 7. We'll open up the waveform, the Luma waveform. And so we can see now that if we do anything to that to these color wheels, we can see on the Luma waveform that only the part of the nudibranch is going to be affected. So if, for example, we increase the highlights and bring those up, you see how the rest of the image is not affected, but it's really only the highlights that are affected. And you can see it on the actual image too, how it's only affecting the nudibranch and nothing else. So what we want to do in this case, we want to bring up the saturation a little bit, and then we want to push the global color wheel sort of more into a red direction, because red is really the color that is missing here altogether. So I'm just going to try to bring in quite a bit of red, and I can do this quite a bit. I'm really pushing red here. I can bring that quite far up, and you can see that this doesn't look bad. Now it brings a lot of the orange and red back into the image. Let me make this just a little bigger here. So you can see that it brings a lot of the actual colors back into our little nudibranch, and it doesn't look too bad at all as it is. Now what I want to do, I think the exposure is quite okay. I don't really have to do much of the exposure. Now I'm quite happy with the colors there too. There's still a bit of a bluish tint in like the whiter part of my nudibranch, or what should be white on that nudibranch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a second mask anyway, and I'm going to just open up a new color wheel section. I'm going to open up a new auto mask, and this time I'm going to be selecting the background. I'm going to add that mask, and now I'm going to be working just on the background. So here I want to make the background also a little more saturated, and as you can see, I'm only saturating the background, and I might want to bring it up a little brighter, maybe just give it some more contrast, just a point where I think that this is gonna be okay-ish. I can basically do whatever I want here with the background, but I like to have it a little brighter, so somewhere around here, and a little more saturation, so we get that blue popping a little bit more. If, for example, we now say that we're not really happy with the tint of the background, then we can also just do like a hue and saturation curves adjustment. and we can do a hue versus hue, pick the use the picker, pick the background here, and then adjust this if we want to have like sort of more of it goes more into a purple, which is obviously not what we want, or more like a little sort of greenish water. Not something that I really want to do, but you could do it here. Well, maybe after all we will do just a little bit so it's not too bluish. Just a little bit of that. It's not bad. And then, as I said before, you can still see that we have that tint, that sort of greenish bluish tint here in the body of the nudibranch. So I'm gonna be doing adding another hue and saturation curves correction, and here I'm gonna be applying another auto mask and selecting the foreground again. So we're working with the nudibranch, adding that, and then what I want to do here is I want to go to hue versus saturation, use the picker and pick that hue, that color there on the nudibranch, and bring that down. And what this does is it's just gonna, you can see it I think quite well, it's just gonna desaturate that specific color, and it's gonna bring it out of the nudibranch without actually affecting the other colors. And now we get a really nice white color on the nudibranch as it actually is in real life, with the red dots and the orange outlines, and that actually looks pretty nice. So if we skip through here, that's actually, well, it's probably not 100% accurate, but it's definitely much better than what we had at the beginning, because here is what we had, what we started off with. This was our original shot, and with the correction that we've done in, what was it, like 3-5 minutes maybe, we got to a shot that looks like this, and I think that actually looks quite okay. But this one corrected a little different here, but it doesn't really matter here. The background is not quite as saturated and blue as it is on the one that I had corrected before, so that one's maybe even a little better, so we could work a little more on the background there. If you want to make that a little more matching with the one that I've already got corrected, we can just go back into our first color wheels correction, which is our foreground, the nudibranch, and then just bring up the highlights there a little bit, so we make it a little brighter, or a little little less dark, really, the nudibranch itself, and that's kind of it. I mean, the background, yeah, you can still adjust that a little bit. I think that's just because I've done the hue and saturation curve, so if I take that off, then the background goes into something which is very similar to what we have here, and very similar correction to the one that I have on that one here. So, and that's kind of already the whole magic behind getting a shot that looks blue into something that is actually usable, and that you're gonna like sharing on your social media channels or wherever you want to do so. I hope that this was useful to you and you got something out of it, that you can use that information to color correct footage like that, blue footage that looks blue in the future more easily and better and more conveniently into something that is actually worth sharing and looking at, and that just gives you pleasure. So if that's the case, do let me know in the comment section below. Share this video with other divers that might be interested in learning how to do these color corrections. And actually, while I was doing the corrections here with you, I had a thought, and I was thinking that it would actually be a lot of fun to correct some of your clips that you guys have problems with correcting, like I've done for Sarah here with this clip. And it doesn't have to be a blue background clip or anything, just any clip, any underwater clip that you've shot that you have trouble with correcting, or you would like to see me how I would correct the clip and color grade it, feel free to send me an email. Send me an email to contact@matthiaslebo.com, and please include a download link using, I don't know, WeTransfer, Dropbox, Swiss Transfer, whatever service you want to use. Use one of these services to send the original clip. Please send me the original clip in full resolution, and let me know what camera it was filmed with, and you know, what resolution, frame rate, all that sort of stuff, what codec you used, so that I get a bit of an idea of what I'm working with. And yeah, and then I'll be happy to look at those clips and see how I can color grade, color correct them, and what I can come up with for you. So if you find that a good idea, then go ahead, send me some clips, and I'll be happy to make this into a little series and start color correcting your clips here on the channel and showing you how I approach certain or different clips in the way of color correcting and color grading. And I think that would be a really nice thing. It would definitely be a lot of fun for me to do so. So if you think so as well, then please send over some clips, and hopefully we can continue with doing this here on the channel. Thank you very much. And that kind of brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching and staying with me all the way to the end. It was a longer video than what I expected. I hope I didn't drag it out too long and it was still interesting for you and you learned something. And if that's the case, then let me know in the comment section below. And also feel free to share this video with someone else who might be interested in learning about color grading underwater footage. And now I'm really looking forward to receiving your clips to grade them here on the channel with and for you guys. If there's any questions, leave them down in the comment section below as always. If you want to learn how to color match different clips from different cameras, then have a look at this video over here next. Thanks for staying with me, guys. Have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next video.